8:27 this Friday morning. Grand Rapids is booming with art with ArtPrize 2025 in full swing.
It's kind of hard to believe, but we have actually reached our halfway point, and there is a big celebration tonight to recognize the top artists and installations. 13 on your sides, Deja Barrett has been live in downtown Grand Rapids for us all this morning, and you've gotten to take a look at a bunch of different pieces of artwork here, Deja. It really is spectacular just how much art is in our downtown area. It's so cool.
Yeah, Tanner, it absolutely is. And you have the opportunity to get out among the districts and take a look at many of the art pieces. Well, we're here at the corner of Monroe and Pearl Street, where a few pieces are right across from Rosa Parks Circle. And of course, as you said, ArtPrize 2025, we're at the halfway mark already. Still a whole lot to see, but let's talk about that halftime show that's happening this evening at 6th Street Park starting at 6. Now, headlining this big event tonight is a big country name, a country powerhouse, Tiara Kennedy. We've been talking about her all week long. A lot of folks really excited to hear her, see her take the stage, bringing her signature blend of country and R&B music there, along with two Michigan-based acts, Jake Kershaw and the Bootstrap Boys. So it's definitely going to be a good night of music, singing, and dancing there at 6th Street Park. Now, during the ArtPrize halftime show, the top 20 entries per district will be recognized and celebrated, but that does not mean that voting is going to close tonight. Voting will remain open for all entries through Thursday, October 2nd at 10 p.m. Now, you can vote using ArtPrize's voting web app, where there's a ton of other features on that to help you still navigate ArtPrize if you have not made it out to do so. Now, tonight's halftime show will bring the community together for a full night of fun and connection, a whole lot of music, food trucks, and fun as we head toward that final stretch of ArtPrize 2025. So as you mentioned, there's still plenty of time to explore the 5 districts across Grand Rapids that has a ton, like a ton of installations for you to see. So again, we are here on the corner of Monroe and Pearl, and let's take a look at the art installation behind us here. It is giving you all things cartoons. Now, this particular piece is by Ken Vidro. He's actually from Granville, Michigan, and this art piece here, he's titling it "It Takes Two." And if you notice some of the faces, some of the cartoon characters here, it's like a duo, cartoon duos from 9 different genres. I mean, cartoon combos from the past, famous film pairs, faithful friends from books, adventurous duos, more cartoon combos, anime pair connections, mischievous buddies. I mean, a whole lot to look at in this particular installation. So again, you get the concept there. Duo, it takes two, highlighting pairs and many of cartoon, anime, action, books, those genres. Definitely a fun, nostalgic, eye-catching piece here. Also, this artist here, I like to also just like show that these particular pieces are for sale. Of course, it says for sale by owner, but one of the tabs here, 2 of them, actually 3 of them, have already been sold. So many of the art installations around and within ArtPrize can be sold, can be right there in your living room, in your back porch, wherever you want to have that space to have these beautiful installations. And of course, we've been highlighting ArtPrize, talking about all the things these artists, both locally, statewide, international artists that come right here to just, I call it the heart of West Michigan, to showcase their many talents using an array of different skills and talents to just create beautiful pieces. Of course, we've been highlighting all of the pieces across Grand Rapids. Tanner, you and Emily have been out at the Ford Museum. We're here at Monroe and Pearl, but right across from Rosa Parks Circle. So a whole lot to see, a whole lot to do. So again, you mentioned that halfway point. We are at halftime show, not football, but halftime for ArtPrize 2025. That big celebration kicking off tonight at 6th Street Park. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun, whole lot of dancing, food, and music. So I know it's going to be a good turnout.
Oh yeah, Deja. Hey, while we have you, I know this artwork is really, really cool, and you mentioned
Yeah.
duos. Some of the things that I picked up on, you got Scooby and Shaggy. I saw the Jetson,
Yeah.
George Jetson and his
Yeah.
dog on there. You know, a lot of very recognizable characters, and I think it's so cool that you said this was a local artist, right, Deja? So, I mean, how many local pieces have you seen out there?
Yeah, so this one particular, this artist, his name is Ken Vidro, Granville, Michigan. Now, also, I want to note here in his bio that's printed up here, he has taught art in Rockford for 40 years. So he's very much local, very much in the community with his work, very present on this particular art piece, It Takes Two. Now, earlier in the show, we saw an art installation where that artist was from Valparaiso, Indiana, and that art piece was given all of the love of Florida because, of course, that's one of their favorite places to vacation, and they spend a lot of summertime there. So many of the artists local Midwest region, but they depict art or depict their pictures and genres from, different arts and pieces of life. So this particular art piece that we're looking at now with all of the cartoon duos, it's called It Takes Two by Ken Vidro out of Granville, Michigan. Really, really cool stuff. And I'm sure that you have noticed, you've been able to point out some of the cartoon characters. Now, some of them, I'm not gonna lie, I had to look twice and tilt my head a little bit to say, okay, what era is this? What genre is this? So it's definitely installation that you can just stare at, and then it brings back memories of those shows, of those times, and how many of them, are no longer showing, but it just depicts that just whole nostalgia feel in this particular art. So really cool. This art piece installation here, they come in pieces and they can be sold. You can purchase them, and of course it is to support these artists. But a lot of these artists, they do what they do because they love what they do. So it's really exciting stuff. Tiana, did you say something else?
Okay, Deja, I've got one other question for you, actually. So I know that with ArtPrize,
Okay.
you can walk around, see all these different materials, paints, pictures. What is the material that we're looking at here?
Ooh, that's a very good question. I'm gonna get Doug to zoom in on this, but these are just, it's like a canvas, honestly. And I want to say it's like acrylic paint. I don't want to touch. I don't see the do not touch sign here, but it's like a canvas and it's actually painted. I'm gonna take a look at his bio here. It is acrylic paint on canvas. So this piece here is very simple, just using acrylic paint. Now, some of the artwork we were looking at this morning was based off a base of wood and then a mixture of glass pieces, ceramic. I mean, many of these artists are just extremely creative and creating pieces of different elements that you wouldn't even imagine that just come together to make masterful, beautiful art installations that make you go, wow, can't believe this is made of this. But this is a canvas here, real simple, but of course it's like cut out with different styles. Some are horizontal, some are landscape. And so really cool just how these artists, they just display their artwork, their skills, and these different types of installations.
Yeah, Deja, I mean, we're just looking at so many cool things. And you mentioned like the different materials these artists are working with. I know last week when Emily and I were out at the Ford Museum, we saw this huge tapestry, but it was made out of glass. It was so interesting to see. I mean, so many creative pieces of artwork here at ArtPrize. And I know that you have been kind of bopping around to the different places there around Monroe Center and Rosa Parks Circle there this morning. What has been your favorite thing that you've seen so far out there this morning, just in that little vicinity that you've been covering? Because you've shown us a lot of art this morning.
Yeah, so I haven't had the opportunity, I'm gonna use Dave's word, to meander around. But here in this just area here, I love that big joyful art installation. And what I love about that, and some of the artists, you'll see their bios here, their bios here on the side, and it kind of tells you the time and material that they put together to put their art piece together. And one that kind of stood out, the young lady, her name is Jax, and she mentioned where she had been working on her art piece like all year, just simply putting just pieces together, taking a step back. There was another artist we highlighted that did his work every single day for over a year. So when I look at these art installations and these pieces, and again, this is just the corner of Monroe and Pearl. There are 5 districts with a ton of art, but I am so mesmerized at the time and effort and materials that they use to put together these beautiful pieces. And it just goes to show more so of the heart of these artists and why they do what they do, and to bring their art here to beautiful West Michigan to showcase for folks that come from all across the world to see what we have to offer here for ArtPrize 2025. It's going to be a big night. Again, halfway point, Tanner. Still a whole lot to do and see, and I'm going to make it my business this weekend to get out and Dave's word, meander across another district to take a look at some of the other installations.
All right, well, sounds good, Deja. Thank you so much. Yeah, we always love ArtPrize, and it sounds like tonight's event's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Deja, we appreciate it. Thank you.